CIET NCERT presents AudioBook Kriti, Textbook of Arts for Grade 8.
Page number 186, Chapter 17, People in Places. On the right side at the top of the page, there is a QR code. When you scan the QR code, you will be able to get additional resources related to the chapter. Introduction to Perspective. Paintings and drawings have the power to transport you to other worlds. Some appear two-dimensional and entice you with the beauty of lines, patterns, colors, and textures. Some others appear three-dimensional as though they are popping out of the surface. Have you wondered how this happens? Perspective is the technique of showing three-dimensional space on a two-dimensional surface. It creates an illusion of distance and depth where things that are closer appear bigger and have more details than those that are further away. You can create this magic with practice by keenly observing the views in front of you. Look at the pictures below. Although the lines on either side of the road are parallel, they appear to converge in the distance. You would see the same on railway tracks too. Observe. Point number 1. The horizontal line aligns with the eye level of the viewer. Point number 2. The lines converge at a vanishing point which is also at the eye level. There are 3 images at the bottom of the page. All the 3 images have a common eye level, then the above eye level, and then the below eye level. There is also a vanishing point mentioned at the image in the center. Page number 187. In order to visualize how the lines appear when seen in perspective, point number 1. Visualize your eyeball as a circle with its center as the vanishing point. Point number 2. Imagine the horizontal line across the center of eye as the horizontal line. Point number 3. Imagine other lines radiating from the center in different directions. To draw in perspective, 3 things are important. Point number 1. Identify the horizon line at eye level in the scene. Point number 2. Visualizing the vanishing point. Point number 3. Observing the angle of lines that converge at the vanishing point. Perspective can help you observe and draw buildings and architectural monuments in a way that looks realistic. Take the example of the image printed on the 100 rupee note. Notice how the lines of the upper and lower stories of the step well appear to converge at the vanishing point. On the right side of the page, there are 3 images. The first image is of the eye. The second image is of Indian rupees 100 note. The well printed at the back side of the note. It demonstrates the eye level, the above eye level, and the below eye level. This is an image of Rani Ki Vav, step well in Patan, Gujarat. The third image is sketching the same. It represents the eye level, the above eye level, and the below eye level. Page number 188. Similarly, observe the lines converging at the vanishing point in other photographs of building interiors. Once you learn and understand the principles of perspective drawing, you will find it easy to draw simple objects from different angles. There are 2 images at the bottom of the page. The first image is of a sketch of a room with 3 walls, a ceiling, and floor. The image shows a vanishing point, eye level, above eye level, and below eye level. On the right side, there is an image of a room from a palace. The image demonstrates eye level, above eye level, and below eye level. Page number 189. Activity 17.1. Make a viewing grid. Materials. Unused or discarded transparent sheet, measuring scale, ballpoint pen or permanent marker, and scissors. Repeat. Procedure. Point number 1. Cut the transparent sheet of A4 size. Point number 2. Use a measuring scale and mark the grid with a ballpoint pen or permanent marker as shown in the photo. This will be your viewing grid. Point number 3. Look at your surroundings through the viewing grid. Hold it straight and still during the process. Point number 4. Align the horizon line on the grid with your eye level. On the left side of the page, there is an illustration of a table from different perspectives. Page number 190. Point number 5. As you observe at the scene through the grid, find lines that align with the horizon line. Point number 6. Observe the other lines and the shapes of objects in relation to the lines and squares on the viewing grid. Point number 7. Compare the angle of lines in objects that are near with those that are far. Point number 8. Choose a scene that you want to draw. Point number 9. Replicate what you see through the transparent sheet on your drawing paper. You can use the same viewing grid to draw different scenes to show perspective. With more practice, you will be able to draw without a viewing grid. At the bottom of the page, there are two images. On the left side, there is an image where we observe the scene through the grid. On the right side of the page, there is an image where we replicate what you observe through the transparent sheet on your drawing paper. Page number 191. Human anatomy. The structure of the human body is called anatomy. Look at your old photographs and notice how your body structure has changed from the time you were a baby till the present. Over the years, some parts of your body grow more than the others. The relationship between the different parts of the body is measured and expressed in ratio and proportions. For example, if the head is one part, we can find out which parts of the body are of the same size, that is ratio 1:1. Which parts are twice the size of the head, that is ratio 1:2. And which parts are thrice the size of the head, that is ratio 1:3. On the left side at the bottom of the page, there are given three images. The first image from the right side is of a baby. The second image is of a teenager girl. And the third image is of an adult lady. The image displays how the face changes with time. Basic proportions, 8 head divisions. There is an image given of a full body anatomy of a man, where the measurement of his head is used to decide the proportions of the other parts of the body, which includes the neck, the width of the body, the torso, the abdomen and the lower part of the body. Page number 192. The system of measuring the ratio and proportions of the human body has been a central part of Indian painting and the sculpture traditions. Texts from the Shilpa Shastra mention different ratios and proportions for depicting divine beings, people of royalty, warriors, children, animals, and various other mythological beings. The system is known as the Tal-Man Paddhati, where the unit of one tal is equal to the length of an adult hand, measured from the bottom of the wrist to the tip of the middle finger. On the bottom of the page, on the left side, there is an image of a diagram of a human body with a grid outlining the proportions of the figure. The grid sections are labeled from 1 to 9. Each corresponding to different parts of the body like the head, torso, legs, etc. On the right side of the page, there is an image of a sculpture which is sculpted using the same as reference. Note to the teacher: help students connect and apply their mathematical skills while explaining ratio and proportions of the human body. Page number 193. Activity 17.2. Mark the proportions. Mark the proportions for all the people in the picture as given in the example. Point number 1. Mark the size of the head using 2 horizontal lines. Point number 2. Measure the distance between the 2 lines and use the same to mark more horizontal lines along the length of the body. Point number 3. Count the number of times the head repeated in each human figure. Point number 4. Write the ratio of the height in relation to the head. Discuss the differences you have discovered in the body proportions of different age groups and body types. Note to the teacher. Discuss this activity with the mathematics teacher and ask students to take their help to understand and write the ratios and proportions. On the right side of the page, there is given an image of a family of 4: the father, the mother, the daughter, and the son. Alongside the figure of the mother, there is given a grid of measurement. Page number 194. Activity 17.3. Draw your friends. There are small variations in the body proportions of every person, which makes them look different from others. There are no stereotypical proportions that everyone can fit into. Observe the body proportions of your own friends and peers and make drawings from it. Take turns to pose in standing positions so that you can observe and draw the whole body. Step 1. Start with the head and note the proportions. You have learnt to use your pencil as a measuring tool while drawing still life objects. In the same way, use your pencil to measure the size of the head and note the number of times it repeats in the body. Step 2. Based on the proportions that you have measured, make rough markings so that your drawing of the entire body fits comfortably on your paper. Step 3. Continue to measure and verify the proportions as you draw each part. Focus on capturing the proportions that you see. Step number 4. Complete your drawing and share it with your friends. Take feedback from your teacher on the parts of your drawing that look proportionate and where you can improve. Body positions and postures. After you make 1 or 2 drawings of standing figure, observe the body proportions in different postures and positions such as sitting, bending, lying, squatting, and other positions. Request your friends or family members to pose for you as you draw them. Show them your drawings and tell them the fascinating things you have learned about the proportions of human body. At the bottom on the right side of the page, there are given 3 images of human body. The first image is in a standing position. The second image is in a sitting position. The third image is in a front bend position. Page number 195. Activity 17.4. Composition in perspective. Now that you have learned about perspective and human proportions, it's time to create your own compositions that show people in indoor or outdoor settings. On the left side of the page, there is an image of a painting. The painting is of a mall where a man is seen with her young daughter. Also, there is a policeman checking another man entering the mall. Step 1. Make a few preparatory sketches for the layout of your composition. Point number 1. Use your earlier drawings to plan the foreground, middle ground, and background elements. Point number 2. Mark the horizon line or its finishing point. Point number 3. To begin, use 3 human figures shown in varying distances. One can be near and another in a distance. Point number 4. Using your knowledge of proportion and perspective, draw the other elements such as furniture, objects, trees, roads, vehicles, buildings, etc. Note The human figures should be proportionate to the landscape or indoor setting they are placed in. Step 2. Choose one layout. Show your preparatory sketches to your teacher, take their suggestions, and discuss your choice for your final artwork. Step 3. Begin the final artwork. Point number 1. Line drawing. Using the reference of your preparatory sketches, start drawing. Point number 2. Edits and changes. Make small changes or additions to your compositions while you draw. Page number 196. Step 4. Coloring process. Point number 1. Choose any medium to color your artwork like color pencils, pastels, crayons, watercolors, poster colors, acrylic colors, natural colors, etc. Point number 2. Choose your color theme based on seasons, time of the day, mood, and so on. Point number 3. Try different combinations on your preparatory sketches. Point number 4. Now you are ready to execute your final artwork. Step 5. Title your artwork. Point number 1. Jot down a few thoughts about your artwork, that is, your ideas, inspirations, memories, and personal connections. Point number 2. Based on these thoughts, write a short phrase that could be the title of your artwork. Note: the teacher can display everyone's work and have a class. On the right side of the page, there are 4 images given. Image number 1 is a painting that says, "Not all heroes wear capes." In this painting, the first image is of a doctor, the second of a policeman or soldier, the third of a teacher, the fourth of a football player, and in the background there is a fighter pilot. Image number 2 is of a locality where we see the person brooming and cleaning the road while an auto passes by. Image number 3 is of a painting of the famous Rumi Gate of Lucknow. Image number 4 is of a painting of a public school. In this painting, we have a girl standing while 2 boys are chatting and one is playing the guitar. Page number 197. Assessment. Chapter 17. People in Places. There is a table given with 5 columns and 5 rows. Column number 1, CG. Column number 2, C or competency. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Column number 4, teacher. Column number 5, self. Column number 1, CG1. Column number 2, C1.1, learning outcomes. Observes and depicts the ratios and proportions of the human body. Next row. Column number 1, CG1. Column number 2, C or competency 1.1, learning outcomes. Applies the proportions while drawing human figures in different postures. Next row. Column number 1, CG2. Column number 2, C or competency 2.2, learning outcomes. Connect the concept of perspective drawing with real-life observations. Next row. Column number 1, CG3. Column number 2, C or competency 3.1, learning outcomes. Applies perspective and proportion while making compositions about their everyday experiences. Next row, overall participation. Column number 5, teacher, and column number 6 are left blank for you to fill it. Teacher's comments and students' observations. Fill in the blanks. Chapter 17 ends here.
Kriti, you were just listening to this audiobook. Textbook of Arts for Grade 8. Narration Richa Jain. Sound recordist Virendra Rawat. Assistance in production Amarjeet Sarkar. Directed and produced by Vimlesh Chaudhary. This audiobook is brought to you by CIET NCERT, New Delhi, India.